Hello and welcome to another episode of the Slash Raptor Show. I am Slash Raptor, and today is May 6th, 2022. Doctor Strange is out in theaters, and I'm going to go see it tonight. I might sound a little congested. That's because I'm getting over the flu. It wasn't COVID. I took 2 tests, and they were both negative, so it wasn't COVID. I mean, I thought it could have been on the first day when I was at my sickest, but then it went away too fast for it to be COVID, and I didn't have any of the other symptoms. It was actually kind of a wussy flu. Only knocked me on my ass for 3 days. I've still got a bit of the cough, and you can hear it in my throat a little bit. But besides that, I feel good enough to go see a movie. So I'm aiming to go and see the 4 o'clock showing at the same theater that I went to see No Way Home at. So in preparation for that, I'm going over to the corner store to get some cash. And then I gotta shave and do a couple of other things at home before the movie. See ya! It's actually kind of funny. I just rewatched that episode of Breaking Bad where Jesse is at the stoner's house or the meth head house, and they're trying to get into that bank machine, and the lady ends up crushing the guy's head with the ATM machine. So it's kind of funny how I just watched that one, and now I'm here using an ATM machine.
2 hours later.
Okay, we're off to see the movie. I'm gonna take the bus. I was gonna walk, but then I remembered that I'll be walking like right through downtown, and it's not a very good part of town. Oh, and I just realized that I didn't shave. Oh well, it's not like this was a date or anything. It's just gonna be me in a dark theater for 2 hours. I don't really care. I got caught up playing Oblivion. I planned to when I got home. I was in the bathroom and I think I was holding my razor, but then somebody texted me, and then I sat down on my chair, and then the rest is history. It's so empty in here. There's like only one other person besides me, not including the driver. Okay, so this is where I get off of the bus when I'm working. Well, actually not. Even just in general, because I come here a lot because it's like a hot spot sort of thing. But anyway, I realized that there's this Subway here that I often go to lunch at, and it's open till 11. So if I'm hungry after the movie, I just come here, get some food, hop the bus, and then go home. Because the movie's gonna let out at about 6-ish, and that's generally when I eat lunch anyway. So this should work out nicely. Now I just get a nice leisurely walk as I head to the mall. This is the exact same route that I was doing when I went to see No Way Home, except this time it's like maybe 40 degrees in the other direction, because it was at least minus 30 that day, probably higher than that, like 37, because there was a really cold period then. But nowadays it's actually quite nice out. I didn't check the temperature before I went, but it feels like maybe +7, +10. There's also a pizza place right there. It's kind of sort of around the corner from that Subway. I've never been there before, but it looks pretty good. Usually I'm more of a chain pizza person, or frozen. But sometimes when I'm feeling adventurous, I venture out of my comfort zone and try things that I've never had before. Not very often, but sometimes. Gotta see if I can remember where I went last time. I think, yeah, it's right up there, on the second level up there. So this should be pretty straightforward. I just gotta find the other escalators. This is like a 3-tier mall thing. Yeah, it's right there. Oh yeah, I remember now. So we're gonna go. Yeah, I can already see the escalators from here. You probably can't, but I can. Yeah, this looks right. Still just as deserted as last time. Well, there are people here, but not very much. Like, It's still pretty deserted, but there's at least a few more people than the last time I was here. So we're supposed to get our tickets at the concession thing like last time, if we're paying cash, which I am. Made pretty good time. Movie starts at 4 and it's 3:40, so couldn't have gone better if I planned it. Hi, can I get one ticket to Multiverse of Madness?
Would that be for the 4 o'clock one? Or the
Yes, the 4 o'clock. So according to my ticket, I'm in Theater 4, which is the exact same theater that I saw No Way Home in. I don't know, is this like destiny or something, or is this just a coincidence? You guys be the judge.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I'm already in here. I went in because there was no showing in this theater, and there wasn't even anybody to take my to rip my ticket. So technically, I'm not supposed to be in here, but I did pay for it. Look, guys, it's the Avatar 2 trailer, a movie that took so long to get made that nobody even gives a shit about the franchise anymore, and nobody remembers why everyone loved the first one, even though it was just a regular movie and not really not that incredible at all. Why did it take so freaking long for this movie to come? Okay, so just got out of the theater, and it was interesting. It's another situation, I feel like, where the trailer tried to mislead audiences into thinking something else was going to happen, and it worked on me. The only other time that worked was with the Far From Home trailer, but that's because they specifically had to, otherwise the plot wouldn't have been worth anything. Because we had, like, the twist with Mysterio had to come as a surprise, because if we went in knowing that Mysterio would be the villain, then his betrayal wouldn't have meant as much, you know, like in the story-wise, which is why Peter was so affected by it. But in this one, they made it very clearly look like Wanda was going to be like an ally of Doctor Strange, but she ends up being the main antagonist of the movie. And because I didn't watch WandaVision, well, I mean, I watched like the first 2 episodes and thought it was kind of stupid, because the first 2 episodes are basically just a sitcom. So like, no, it's not even funny. So I had to like go on Wikipedia and read up about what happened. So I only got like a brief summary. So her motivations as to why what she's doing aren't as good, but I would imagine that if I had seen the whole show and understood like 100% of what happened, then it might have meant something more. I thought that, like, in terms of being threatening, she was definitely up there, but Wanda has always been one of my favorite characters because Elizabeth Olsen is just so wholesome and gorgeous, but it was just unexpected, and it didn't feel real. Like, I kept waiting for something to happen, and then like she'd snap out of it, and there were a couple of times where it seemed like she might, but then finally at the very end she does, and they leave her fate ambiguous. So it seems like they might have killed her off, or at least the main universe one, because, you know, it's the whole multiverse thing is kind of the theme of the movie. The special effects were fantastic. That's another thing that I don't think I ever talked about Doctor Strange, is how, because it's a very trippy storyline and he's diving into something that defies science. They used a lot of weird special effects, like most notably in the mirror, like in the mirror dimension fights. But the entirety of Doctor Strange, it was all just like visual eye candy, and it was just breathtaking. And they did that again in this one. But the thing that I thought was interesting was that even though it talks about the Multiverse of Madness, they don't really go to very many universes. They stay grounded, and they really just only visit ones that are slight alterations of Earth, and they don't really meet any interesting characters. They're just like basically just going around and finding the Doctor Strange of this one. And there was like the one that they stay in for the longest time. It was basically just Earth. So like I was expecting that there would be a lot more jumping and a lot more, you know, like going into different universes, kind of like the Road to the Multiverse in Family Guy, because that one you saw like a bunch of different things, and there's one part right when they do the first warp through the multiverse when America Chavez's powers accidentally trigger. Like they go through one where everything is animated, they go through one where like they're made of paint, and they go through all these other ones, and we see like visually how these universes are different, but they don't stay there, and then they end up going to one that's basically just Earth, but like, you know, and it's only different in like a few small aspects. And then there's one recurring joke where they go to this one universe where green means stop and red means go, which was kind of cute. I really liked the bonding between America and Doctor Strange. I thought that they had very good chemistry, and I thought that they worked well together. And I liked the way that America was introduced. Again, a character that I've never heard of before, and I didn't really see any of her in the trailers. But it was a good movie. Like it didn't feel as zany as I thought it was going to be, because like a lot of it was grounded, because so many of the universes that they were in were just, they looked identical to Earth. So other than that, I liked it. I really was, I don't know, it felt kind of weird, because like they were setting up to have Mordo be the main villain of the second movie, and it just seemed like the next logical step. They were trying to make it seem like he was going to be the main villain, and there was a part where he was being villainous towards Strange, but that was just like in that one separate instance, and that was it. But he's still out there, so maybe he'll be the main villain in the next one, or maybe he'll become a villain in someone else's movie. But yeah, great special effects. The story was not at all what I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it really lived up to the name of the thing, and there were a couple of scenes in the trailer that I didn't think actually made it into the final movie. Like there was that one part where he was talking to like what seemed to be an evil Doctor Strange, and he says like things are about to get weird or something. Like that is in the movie, but the Strange doesn't look like that, and he has a third eye. And then there's a part at the end where some character who I have no idea who it is opens a portal and asks Strange to come with him, come with her, and it looked like it was the world that it led to looked like that space-time dimension where what's his name, Dormammu, was living in the first one. So I don't know if that was just a coincidence. I don't know like what's going to happen, but I'm not sure if we're going to see Doctor Strange until Doctor Strange 3. But yeah, it was pretty good. I saw the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder, so probably going to go see that one in theaters too. But anyway, that's all the time I have for this episode of the Slash Raptor Show. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you right back here in the very near future for more. And until next time, peace out. Bye! So, thinking back, it occurred to me that they charged me for the butter that I asked for in my popcorn. But like, why on earth would anyone do that? Like, that shouldn't be even be a thing. Like, who eats popcorn without butter? Like, no one. It doesn't have flavor. It needs that butter. If you want extra stuff on top of it after the butter, like caramel or cheese, then yeah, charge me for that. But you don't charge someone for the popcorn and then the butter separately. No, you make it one price. I'm positive that I got popcorn the last time. I'd have to go back and watch the footage to make sure, but I feel pretty positive that I know I got popcorn, and they didn't charge me for butter there because it was like under $20 that time. Maybe because I didn't get a drink. I don't know, but whatever. I'm going home, so